Mm. Good morning. Blessed full moon in Aries. My patrons, humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, collectively. Good morning. Blessed full moon. I've got a subliminal in the background, except you can hear it now. It's the sound of the waves. It's lovely, with some Ho'oponopono stuff going on behind it. Very, very cool. Very, very happy to be here. I slept in. Oh, this will be released to the public after once a month. Right now, it feels like I'm going to share one of our morning check-ins because this is our time. It's our time together in the morning to do our thing, but I figure, hey, give them a little taste once a month. I was thinking of doing it once a week, but we'll see. I'm following the inspiration as best I can. Oh my God. Well, we made it to another full moon. I have not recorded a spell like I usually do. Maybe I will. I wanted to make sure I got the 8-card draw. What do I need? Shadow reads done in time. And I did. But after that last push, because Thursday I couldn't really record. I had other stuff going on personally and professionally I had to deal with. Priorities. So I got them all done. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, let's write a spell, perform it on camera, edit it, upload it, and send it out to the world. And at that point, I think it was like, I don't know, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I was just like, no, it's not going to happen. Which leads me to today's subject, topic, whatever, a full moon in Aries on a Sunday. Are you kidding me? What a great day for self-love, self-care, self-healing, right? Aries, first sign of the zodiac, the self, the ego, the personality, the individuality, our unique expression of the divine in our own specific unique frequencies, right? The best part, right, of waking up is witchcraft in your cup. Coffee's really good this morning. Lavazza. And Cafe Bustelo and Starbucks, because I'm a potion witch. I will mix shit up to make the best cup of coffee I can every single day. You gotta have your goals. But like I said, Aries moon on a Sunday, the day of success, the day of healing, the day of clarity, the day of light, the day of Apollo, the sun's day. So you put those two together. What a brilliant opportunity. To do stuff for yourself magically. Really white candle kind of day. Any kind of magic you want to do for yourself, that is certainly in order. Knock yourself out. I wouldn't say total carte blanche, but I find it interesting. Didn't even get that until this morning. That this reintroduction of Ho'oponopono back into my life after years and years and years. I mean, like, well, you took the class here on Thursday. If you did, if you haven't, I hope you've watched it. Talked about how, there's parts of it that I learned back in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, around there, that are still part of my everyday life, like blue solar water and my coffee. It's just how it goes with me. So how interesting that, I think we're about to have feline intervention. Come here. No, screw me. Oh, okay. Well, cats. What do you want? I find it interesting that this was in play before the Ho'oponopono stuff. Self-identity through Ho'oponopono, right? Clearing yourself, healing yourself, holographically clearing and healing everything for a full moon in Aries on a Sunday. I was like, oh, there really is a plan in play. There really is. And that everything is perfect. The perfect, ineffable, well, it's ineffable, the divine plan, the quantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, because I understand the theory, but there's a lot of math involved when you get into that part of it. It's very left brain. Left brain is intellectual, right brain is intuitive, because it's flip-flopped from whatever. Please don't make me do science either right now. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot rather than a direct experience. Can we get another one? Come here. Come on, you have everything you need over there, Melchior. He's stubborn little Taurus kitty. I love him. Kitty. He's a bowling ball with black cat hair. Come here. Come lay down. My boy's like, oh no. Mama's on camera again. It's okay. So yeah, have at it today. Ho'oponopono self-healing ticket. That's why I slept in. Usually, let's see, what is it? Oh, it's almost 10 a.m. I try and get these done before 10 a.m. Or at least get them started before 10 a.m. But by the time I was done with everything last night, I fell asleep on the couch. I woke up on the couch at, what was that, 6 a.m.? I was like, well, I guess I could start my day. And a stronger voice within said, go upstairs, get into bed, get a couple of hours sleep. And I did. I got like an extra 2 hours sleep. So I got my full 8 hours, I think. Please don't make me do math. But I'm here, I'm queer, and you're used to me. So am I going to write a spell, record it, edit it, put it out on Patreon, and then a week later put it out to YouTube and elsewhere? I don't know. I don't know. I really only woke up about an hour ago. And I look pretty good for having just woken up an hour ago. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because you know what I'm doing? Once I'm done with this morning live stream, I'll do our blessing like we do, our little prayer for ourselves and all of that. I am going to do some Ho'oponopono and follow the inspiration. You know, if you read Zero Limits by Joe Vitale, which is, I posted a link to the audiobook here for you all. I think it's a recording of the book twice in one recording, the one I sent you, because it was awfully long. I was like, I don't remember it being this long this time. And I think it just goes all the way through once and then goes all the way through again. But they talk about not planning, particularly in context of workshops and what you're going to do, and to let inspiration move through you. Well, my Pisces moon gets that. Right? It's like, oh, let's just go with the flow. Let's follow the inspiration because it feels so good when you do. Sometimes a little scary when it pushes your envelope. But my Virgo sun is like, well, but what about the checklist, right? And it's all part of it. It's all part of it. To clean the checklist as you go through it, so to speak. So we'll see what happens. I'm starting the romantic soulmate reads tomorrow. Oh God, help us all. Soul contracts, diving back into the realm of soulmate contracts, but at least it's soulmate, not twin flame. And believe me, my darlings, there is a difference between the two. And of course, I'll be talking about that. Maybe I'll do a little thingy hoo-ha doo-dah about the different. I don't think I've ever made a video about the specific differences between the two, because I've said them so many times in the different soul contract reads that I do, the relationship reads. And I refer people to the Matt Kahn YouTube video, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. Can't believe I remembered that accurately right now. Really can't. But I love them. It's just they're a lot. It is a contract read. It's like a double element read, right? So fire, earth, air, water spread on this side, same on this side, right? So one for party number one, because it's a contract. It's raised by lawyers. My mother divorced my father and married her divorce lawyer. Mind you, they're still married. My mother and her divorce lawyer, my stepfather. So I think that was the right move, right? I think, considering they got married in 1974, I think that was probably the right thing to do. Hindsight being 2020, location. But I was raised in a litigious family. Literally, by the time I was 2 years old, they were already like trying to get my deposition. I remember in kindergarten being dragged into the court, and I was supposed to tell people that I hated my mother and I wanted to live with my father. Isn't that horrible, by the way? But you got to keep in mind, it was like 1970 something. So when they carried me in, I took one look at my mom, and they were, my father and his parents, except for my grandfather, he was really cool. He was a Mason, which, by the way, means I could be a Mason if I wanted to be. It's okay. Not this time around, thanks. There's like, just to hate your mother and you love your father and you never want to see her again and shit like that. Well, I was terrified. They carried me into the courtroom. Like, so here's my head up here. I took one look at my mom And I lost my shit. I started crying. I started kicking. I started screaming because that Amazon inside of me is like, you will not have me defame the mother. It will not happen. So that's why soul contracts are so important to me, because it has given me context for the relationships in my life. That's why looking at the archetypes, the chakras, right? What the guides are saying, tricky shit, right? We need the help to do it, because what we were taught in terms of relationships, through the societal conditioning alone, let alone our ancestral patterns. Like when I learned this past year that rule of thumb, right? Because it's something people say, oh yeah, the rule of thumb is that you are not allowed to beat your wife, I think, or children or women, whatever, if the stick was longer than the length of your thumb. That makes me kind of want to throw up right now, except the coffee's really delicious, so I'm not going to. I'll just like tap or something. It'll be fine. So you know, undoing all that stuff, so that twin flames are the ones that teach you how to love yourself and heal yourself, which sounds good on paper, but it's a nightmare. My father and I were a twin flame contract. He couldn't give me the love I wanted. Not that he didn't love me, but the idea of a Catholic Republican, narcissist, born the same day as Donald Trump. Just saying, right? The idea of him being like open and accepting of his young gay witch son in the 80s. He died the year I graduated high school in 1986. You know, it just wasn't going to happen. Twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. Burns, it burns, it burns. Thank you, Coco Peru, wherever you are. But soulmates, you help each other heal. It doesn't matter if it's romantic or not. My mom and I have a soulmate contract. My dad and I had a twin flame contract. So why wouldn't I be set up to teach this stuff from take the benefits of my own pain and suffering and the healing that I've done as a result? Because then you add to it self-identity through Ho'oponopono, just as an example, how everything is holographic. There's only one of us here, right? Because through the lens of the ego, it's all separate. And, you know, well, I'm going to get what I want if I do this and I don't do that, right? Maybe. Who knows? I don't. But to take the journey of the soul and say, there's only one of us, so I'm going to heal me regardless. And if I'm helping, the moment you heal something energetically within you, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, even just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, make sure I get the 4 bodies right. And now we've got feline circus. Oh, we've got a cloth mouse. That's why. Okay, cloth mouses. Okay, like, why am I getting felines dancing? Milky, oh my god, you got a nice little dose of kitten energy with this Aries moon. Yeah, you throw that mouse and catch it. You throw it and catch it. Sorry. I have my child archetype in the sign of Aries, so go with it. Just go with it. It'll pass. The fuck was I talking about? I don't know. Anyway, oh, right, self-identity. Every time you feel it, you heal it. You heal it for everybody. There's only one of us here. And the relationships in our lives certainly are important, but not as important as our relationship of self to self, higher self, lower self, shadow self, all of that. It can be delayed, but not prevented. That's from A Course in Miracles. And, you know, it's funny. I did the Course in Miracles. Well, I went through the workbook twice. 365 days of exercises was a lot. And second time I did it, I got all the way through. I got it done in a year and a month, which is pretty good compared to what some people have experienced. There are certain things that if you do the exercises in it, they're in the subconscious mind and they come back to you, which is what happens in the readings. You can see it happen when I'm doing a reading on camera. Right? Like I'll turn a card and I'll start talking about it. And then the guides kick something up from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind, putting it in the conscious orbit of my third eye. And I'm like, oh yeah, boom. There it is. It can be delayed, but not prevented, because all of time is an illusion, and it happened what is it? In an instant that never occurred. You're on a journey with no distance, right? So because we're in a dream, shaboom. Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom. I just love that's in the movie Clue. That's all. That's what I just incarnated to see the movie Clue for Madeline Kahn and Flames. That's the only reason I'm here. You think I'd be dead by now because I've already seen it so many times, but no, apparently not. There might be more in the contract than we were aware of, darling. So, coffee is just supremely delicious right now. Let's do a little prayer. Let's do a little blessing. I'm going to hop over to the Angelo Lyons Mal for short private Facebook group after this and say hi. They will get to see this eventually anyway, but I like to check in with them. Yeah, I could do it tomorrow. I didn't do a Monday check-in last week. I either forgot or I'd done one a couple of days before. Please don't make me do math. But I love them over there, and they really were the precursor. That's not the right word. The predecessor of these live streams here, over on the Angelo Lyons Mal for short Facebook group, which was originally Words of Grace by Angelo Lyons Facebook group when I published the book. Which go check it out. Link preview for me on Kindle. Link in the description. Except if you're a God Goddess on Patreon, then you have access to it as part of your subscription. So, I have no idea what the future holds for me. I don't. Too many quantum timelines, too many possibilities, too many probabilities. I already I didn't talk about this a lot, but I kind of put the kibosh on moving anywhere for a while. Saratoga or otherwise. First of all, winter. I am not packing up all my shit, right? Hiring movers and all of that stuff to do this in 10 feet of snow in Saratoga or anywhere else for that matter. No, it's not going to happen. Which the sense here we go. This is where the codependence challenges. I think we're going to talk about codependence. I at least can have another form of dependency present. It's a little magic. You're going to do a prayer, but enchant it. Here's the thing. Matt Kahn, Healing Mantra Deck, Unraveling Codependence. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Well, I'm sure my family wants me up there. And they've been really good about not coming for me on it. It's like, well, but and I'm like, no, I'm not moving anywhere for long term. As far as I can see, I'm not into it. Because originally the looking into it was very, very adventurous and something new and looking at different houses. But the lies, delusions, deceptions, and delusions of the real estate market, I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. This feels wrong. My solar plexus going, I don't want to do this anymore. And if that was like the angry impulse of the child within me, so be it. That inner child work, man, today, every day, but today, really good day. Aries being the child of the zodiac. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I am an adult. I have choice and decision about my life, and you can pressure me as much as you want. I love you. You make the choices that feel good to you. Only I have to feel good about my choices. And some people would take that, well, yeah, it would feel really good to key that person's car, piss in their gas tank, and punch them in the face. No, it wouldn't feel good to do that. It might bring relief in the moment, but it's not coming from a place of love, of clarity, of truth, right? It's coming from lead, not gold. So, I'm sure my parents are not thrilled with the idea that all of these plans have gone up in smoke, right, to ashes. But, the whole point of ashes is something rises from them eventually. So we'll see. In other words, I'm not saying that I'll never move. I'm saying that right now the answer is no. See the difference? Pisces got, opening mind, activating the third eye, the Makhan mantra. I'm willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. Well, my conclusions that I'm never moving anywhere ever, ever, ever again is very childish. Childish is the lead end of the spectrum. Childlike, the golden one as well. But I trust in the divine plan. We'll see how it goes, right? I'm sure the Dalai Lama didn't know. Because when you think of childlike, he's the image that comes to my mind. Obviously, not the other. That innocence, right? That eternal divine innocence of the divine child. I'm sure, like, he wasn't like, oh yeah, well, I'm getting kicked out of Tibet. No, he had to go with it. He had to go with it. He had that innocence. But the childish Pee Wee Herman, that's my spectrum. And blessed be Paul Rubens. I love you. If I ever met you, I'd give you the biggest hug ever. You helped me through a lot in a way. Pee Wee, I know you are, but what am I? We really, really have the opportunity, in other words, to deal with this entire gestalt within ourselves, little by little, bit by bit, today. So go for it. When the moon rides at her peak, then ye heart's desire seek. So what is the heart's desire of your inner child in its light? It's to love and be loved and be at home, no matter where it is. Childish. I want to feast. I want to bean feast. What is it? Pink macaroons and performing baboons and a million balloons and give it to me now. Veruca Salt, great band. You can't fight the Seether. I know. I'm a fucking cultural reference bingo game. You never know what's gonna come out my mouth. Bingo. So let's do the prayer, the blessing. If I do make a prayer, a blessing, a thing for the world, Patreon, and then everybody else, a full moon in Aries, it would be a simple spell of self-love, self-healing, a simple spell for self. SSS, alliteration, that might be it. Oh, maybe I am doing it today. We'll see. Because I'm going to do my spiritual practice. Already did once this morning before I did this, about an hour ago, just to get the chakras spinning again. But then it's Sunday. It's Sunday. And remember, I used to do 2-hour Sunday morning services at the Silver Broom in Sayville every Sunday for years. So this is an easy flow for me, but not without me making sure I did my best to cross every T and dot every I of my own spiritual practice. I'm going to be doing Ho'oponopono with breath work for sure, because that's just fun. Talk about a cheap high. Ooh, all it takes is the time and the breath and the willingness to do it, right? And then we'll see, what crosses the laptop, right? What comes across my phone. Because if it is true that the universe always has a plan, no matter how anything appears to be, and I have a role in it that can be delayed but not prevented, I'm not delaying anymore. I don't think I have been for a while. So every time I say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, dewdrop, pillar of the peace of eye, clear, erase, whatever, Ho'oponopono, just one example. I'm fulfilling my role in that plan because I'm willing. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm able, but fuck. Sorry, I'm willing. I was doing it finger by finger. It's not intended to be a vaffanculo, but it kind of was. So, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Let's do the blessing. Got the cords on. Torch of Archangel Ariel for the child in me. We got Diana. Demonstrate now. Well, how about there? We'll put you there. You good, Diana? You gonna watch my back? You watch my back, Diana. I love her so much. What's not to love? She's a Wonder Woman. Here, how about that? I'm such a fucking Virgo. I'm like, well, is she there? Now it's a little intimidating, isn't it? The angle of her head, she's actually looking at my 8th chakra, so I'm okay with it. Get yourself in a position you can stay in comfy for just a minute or so, or we'll see. Please take a nice deep breath. Don't get on me by telling me not to smoke cigarettes, because element of fire, prayer butt. American Spirit Yellow. No one's sponsoring me right now, so no product placement. Please take a nice deep breath. and a swig of coffee. Still point. And I don't know if you can hear the waves in the background. I can make it louder so you do. You can probably hear that. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon our collective pantheons of the divine, our guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, and ancestors, our higher selves, all the way back to the divine singularity, fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above, all the way back to the divine singularity, the Tao without name, the pregnant void, the mother of all source, to please surround each and every one of us this day, watching live or later in a force field of light, containing and protecting our energy fields, protecting that child in our hearts, our innocence today, that any information and energy, all information and energy that gets to us on all overtones of all dimensions does so clearly, cleanly, and for the well-being of all, so that we can trust, all right, that made it through. I got to deal with that. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Or energy topper, just say a prayer or go take a nap, which I think just rhymed. May it be done through us, for the well-being of all. May we have the best day that we've ever had. Do the healing indicative of a Sunday for the self, the child, the children of the world. As we heal the child within us, we heal all children. It sounds good enough to me. Internal UNICEF. I'm okay with it. Take us by the hand. Show us what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom. And on a personal note, use me. All aspects, all levels of consciousness, known and unknown, conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind, the whole kit and caboodle. Use me. Shine the light through me at full capacity. Make me who I am destined to be today. In innocence, in safety, in creativity, in joy. For my well-being, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. Be swell. As we will it, so let it be done. So more big. So it is. There you go. I know it's different without the music at the end, isn't it? Unless you're watching this every morning with me here. So, my humans, my heroes, my angels, my witches, my mortals, my gods, goddesses. New tiers coming November. I'm putting it off till November because I think November 28th is when I started here on Patreon. So I feel like that's a good day. I might add 2. You'll see. Mystic is one of them, but I've got another idea in mind, and I have time now to do that. Otherwise, it's back on the chain, gang. I have a picture of you. Oh, the Pretenders. You know, Carolyn Mace, MYSS, she's a PhD, and Chrissy Hind of the Pretenders are the only 2 people on planet Earth that really intimidate me. I think I'm okay with it. I'm out of here. I'm on to the next venture, whatever that may be. Go Team Venture. I love you. Thank you. Oh, and for everybody else who gets to see this later, you could do this with me every morning as a human. What I might do is one of the new tiers in November is have a really low price, like, I don't know, like $3 a month, just to get the daily live streams. I'm thinking about it, but you know, clean erase all the way home. I love you. Thank you for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe, you know, all of that stuff. Click links in the description box if you're watching this on elsewhere than Patreon, and really come Patreon on Patreon. I love doing this, and that's how I know it's part of the divine plan, because it's love. What is love anyway? Does anybody really love anybody anyway? Yeah, we do at core. Have a good one. Go do your magic. Cast your till your heart's content for yourself, in healing, in clarity, for success. Doesn't matter what you cast for on a Sunday. The dominant energy, at least for me, is success. That the spell be successful, that we succeed, and proceed along the path all the way home. I love you. Have a really great day. See you tomorrow morning. And let's see what creativity comes out of me today. It could be fun. I don't know. I hope so. I love you. Have at it. Hail. Farewell. And blessed be. Bye.